Hello, everybody. This is Gabby from My Thesis Coach, and today I want to talk about using graphics in your thesis. Now, yes, so much of thesis work is about writing, but did you know that graphics can be a really great way to to impart content to your reader? This is because it gives a break from the pages and pages and paragraphs and sentences of words. Graphics can be an amazing way of putting information across in a fresh and interesting way. There are really so many different things you could do, from tables to charts to graphs to photos to diagrams to 3D images. There's so many things that you can do in terms of using graphics. So if the question is, can I use graphics in my thesis? Totally, you can. But then the question might also be, how can I use graphics in a thesis and what do I need to remember? So I want to share with you just a couple of things that you need to know when you want to use graphics in your thesis. First of all, you need to have an opening sentence that leads into the graphic. This is part of integrating that graphic effectively into the text. So you can see here I've said figure 1 below shows the blah, 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 whatever it might be. Or you might have written something like, as can be seen on figure 1 below, blah, blah, blah. It's really important to integrate the graphic into the text so it just flows well. So it doesn't feel like the reader has to look at it and think like, oh, what is this? Why am I looking at this? You want that to be integrated properly. So right, we've got our lead-in sentence. Then you've got the figure itself. Don't forget, then you need to label that figure as well. I've said here, figure 1, grade 10 students' sport participation. So always remember to label that figure. In a thesis, if you're using graphics, you should label things in two ways. You might have tables, and if it's a table, then it would say table 1, table 2, table 3 below shows the whatever it might be, and this would be labeled as such. And then for any kind of other graphic, if it's a photo, a chart, a graph, whatever else it might be, you label those figures. So you can see that's why here we've got figure 1, figure 2. Hello to the viewers who have joined us live. Those, so because this is a pie chart, it's labeled figure. So, right, we've got our lead-in sentence. We have got our label over there. And the very last thing to remember that really takes it to the next level is to follow the graphic with something that draws our attention to that graphic, that tells us why we're looking at it. So you can see here I've said, as indicated by the green and purple segments on the pie chart, blah, 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 the similar amount of people enjoy basketball as badminton, whatever it might be. But always follow the graphic with a sentence or a few sentences that indicates to the reader what exactly we should be looking at in that graphic. That's how you integrate it effectively. The last thing to remember that's not over here is to also include both your tables and your figures on your lists of illustrations. That comes at the very beginning of your thesis, and that'll give the reader a sense of all the graphics that you've included, as well as the page numbers where you can find them. So those are the 4 things you need to remember. Number 1, lead-in sentence. Number 2, label it. Number 3, follow the graphic with some information that tells us what it is we're supposed to be looking at. And number 4, remember to include it on your lists of illustrations. So that's all for me today about using graphics in your thesis. Great thing to do. Go ahead and do it. If you have any questions, that's what I'm looking for. If you have any questions about this, please go ahead and join our Facebook group, Thesis Writers Striving and Thriving. You'll find us there. I hang out there a lot. You can ask me questions. I'll give you feedback. We've got a whole group of people there who are going through theses as well. Going through it. Make it sound like a life right, which I suppose it is. So go ahead and join us there. And also in that group, you can find out more about my free thesis starter kit course, which I would love you to join and take out. So thanks so much, and I will see you next time.